Picture this. It's the dawn of 2025 and you're poised for success. Why? Because you've established your why. This isn't just a whim or a hobby. It's the passion that propels you forward, the core of your ambition. Next, you assess your current position. Where do you stand? What are your strengths, your weaknesses? Honesty is key here. Now envisage your destination. What do you want to achieve by the end of this year? Set those goals. Make them smart, specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, time-bound. With your destination locked, it's time to map out your plan. Break down your goals into manageable steps, then start stepping. Remember, action without reflection is aimless. Record your results, analyze your performance, and adjust your plan accordingly. The path to success in 2025 isn't a sprint, it's a marathon. Take meaningful action, keep your eye on the prize, and continually strive for improvement. Here's to a successful 2025.
Good morning, everybody. Great to have you all here again. It's 2025. Can you believe it? It's another year and 2024 is gone. And as you probably recognized, now we have called Vision 2024 Vision 2025. Why? Because it's year 2025. And it's the beginning of the year. And for us, it's a most important part of the year. Why? Because it's the time to actually reflect on what happened last year and actually start putting in place the goals and the aspirations that we wish to achieve by the end of this year to make it the best year ever. So welcome to the show. We've got a few co-hosts today, and I'd like to welcome Marna Ruitz, Glenn Lees-Jones, and Willem Lombard. You probably recognize them from last year. They were all here. And what we're going to do today is just talk a little bit about game planning and how to actually strategize for the new year. So I'm going to just ask Glenn and Marna and Wilhelm just to introduce themselves quickly, and then we'll go into the show. Thank you so much. So let's start with Marna. Marna, please introduce yourself. You need to unmute.
Oh, I need to unmute. Okay, but you muted me. Am I unmuted now? Can you hear me?
We can hear you.
So yeah, good morning, everybody. We're back again with Vision 2024. Wait, Vision 2025. The years is going so fast when you reach a certain age that I think we might have to change it to Vision ASAP or something. But anyway, my name is Marna, for those who doesn't know me, and I am a short-term insurance broker and the owner of InScorp Insurance Brokers. We specialize in commercial insurance with a focus on transport and logistics. And that means I spend my days helping businesses keep their wheels turning, literally turning, and while making sure they are protected against life's unexpected detours. So if you are ever wondered what it's like to insure everything and anything from fleets to freight, I'm your go-to person.
Thank you, Marna. Welcome to the show. Great to have you here. Let's now go to Glenn. Glenn, would you like to introduce yourself, please?
Sorry, missed that. What did you say, Glenn or Wilhelm?
No, Glenn.
You disappeared completely.
Oh.
All I heard was, would you like to introduce yourself? 2025, here we come. And I tell you, it's going as fast as I don't know what. Can't believe we're already on the 9th of this year, 9th of January. So David said something just now about changes, and I'm wondering if we haven't got some more grey hairs, you know. So maybe some of us don't have any more hair. Great stuff. Looking forward to this. I'm excited about it. Really, I think it's just an amazing time ahead of us, and I'm really excited about it. My name is Glenn Lees-Jones. I do life and business coaching. I also do mentorship. I do counseling as well. Interesting enough, I call myself a personal locksmith. And the reason why I say this is because I help people unlock their potential that's inside them and help them step into their destiny. And that's pretty much in a nutshell what I do. So looking forward to this today. Thank you, David. And perhaps over to Willem.
Fantastic. Thank you so much. I love the thing, unlocks a locksmith. Fantastic. Please help me to unlock my potential. I love it. Well, Helen, unmute yourself and please introduce yourself.
Good morning, everybody. Yes, thank you for this opportunity to be here, and may you all have the best year ever. 2025, I believe, is going to be a wonderful year. Of course, there will be challenges, but we can only, I always say one must start with the end in mind. And what do I really want in this year? Think about those things and work on that. And if you see that in your mind's eye, you actually get to that, and it happens and it comes to you. But yes, my name is Willem Lombard. I'm a life energy coach or peak performance strategist, unlocking also potential in companies and in people to be the best version of yourself. So, and I specifically focus on energy. There's so many things that drain your energy. And the biggest energy draining factor is stress. And I really help people to master stress, not just to manage stress, but to really master it and to build that resilience that they need, especially for the challenges of this year. So that's what I do, and I'm looking forward to our conversation today, what Glenn is going to share with us. I can't wait because he always shares only the best things with us. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Wilhelm. Great to have you here as well. Fantastic. Well, you know what? The idea of Vision 2025 is it's our giveaway to you as the listener to learn more about how to actually ensure that you have the best year ever. We started in 2024, at the beginning of 2024, and we've run this for a whole year already. What we were doing a LinkedIn audio, but for some reason, at the end of December in 2024, we could no longer do audio rooms. So we've had to revert now to video rooms. So we cannot invite you up, unfortunately, but you're most welcome to put comments in the comment section, and we'll see if we can answer them there. I see there are a whole lot of you here, so welcome to Paul and Yastiva, I can't pronounce it. Chris, welcome to you. There are a whole lot of you here today, so really nice to see you here, and thanks for being here today. So we've got a really great presentation from Glenn today. Glenn's a Map for Life coach, as he spoke about. And I've been attending the Map for Life cafes that happen every week. And I must say, for me, it's a game changer for me. Now, I'm not going to take away what he's going to tell us, but there's something that he has, which is absolutely, it's old school, but it works. And that is called the Map for Life blueprint. And so Glenn's going to talk to us a little bit about that and how to actually use that to actually strategize and put a game plan together for your 2025. So I'm going to hand over to Glenn. And Glenn, welcome to the show again, and over to you. And please just let me know when I must just move across the slides, and I'll do so. Over to you.
Fantastic. Thanks, David. Appreciate it. Okay, Map for Life. I think maybe important to just quickly mention the reason or what's behind Map for Life. The founder is actually Glenn McQuirk. Us Glen Oaks, we're very good at. Just can't do without us. Some of you didn't catch that one, but it's okay. You'll catch it later. All right. I've been involved with Map for Life since 2013. I did the first course then, and been involved with it since then. We were in actual fact preparing for 2020 to actually do a Map the World and actually bring people from 200 countries to South Africa. We were going to have it at a place called the Faith Dome down in East London, a massive, massive dome over there. And unfortunately, a very strange thing happened. It was called COVID, and everything got stopped. So we're planning to do this once again 2027, and I'm looking forward to that. So if you want any information about that, you're welcome to make contact with me. I'm going to pop a message into the message box with my name and number and just a link that you can get onto, which will take you to an introduction and a little bit of information about Map for Life and a course that I'll be doing pretty soon. And so you can have a look at that as well. So I've just sent that now. Okay, introduction to Map for Life. I think let's move to the next slide quickly. The bottom line for me is that so many people are going from day to day and literally living life by default. They get up in the morning, they do their ablutions, they get in their car, they drive to work, they do their work, they come back, they sit down in front of the TV box and they sit and watch TV, and they start the next day and do the exact same thing over and over and over again. My question is, why live by default when you can live it by design? Why not design your own life? Why not design the life that you would like? I actually mentioned something at the Map Cafe yesterday, and I just wanted to mention very quickly here. Imagine yourself at the end of this year. I know that's quite a scary thought, but 31st December 2025. Imagine yourself sitting there and thinking back over the year and going, what an incredible, great year this was. Okay? Think about that. Just imagine that. Imagine that feeling. Now I want you to think about what is it that would make it great, and go and design it. And that's the idea behind it. Map for Life can literally help you design that future. It physically maps it out for you. That's what Map for Life is about. It's my action plan for living in fullness every day. Okay? I prefer to say, because of who I am and what I believe, the master's action plan for living in fullness every day. But that's your choice, ultimately. Okay, next slide. I'm going to give you a quick autobiography here, and I know many of you will enjoy this because a lot of people don't like reading. So this is a real short story, very short story. Okay, 5 chapters, and we're going to go through it very quickly. So let's go. Next one. And think about this as we go through. Think about where you are and how this actually works. So here it is. I walk down the street. There's a deep hole in the sidewalk. I fall in. I'm lost. I'm helpless. It isn't my fault. It takes forever to find a way out. Next chapter. Told you they were short, eh? I walk down the street. There's a deep hole in the sidewalk. I pretend that I don't see it. I fall in again. I cannot believe I'm in the same place. But it isn't my fault. It still takes a long time to get out. Chapter 3. I walk down the same street. You know where this is going, eh? There's a deep hole in the sidewalk. I see it is there. I still fall in. It's a habit. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is the challenge. It's a habit. And we tend to fall in these habits, and we need to change those habits. And that's also what part of Map for Life is all about. My eyes are open, though. I know where I am. It is my fault. And that's the other issue. We take responsibility and have accountability. I get out immediately. Chapter 4. I walk down the same street. There's a deep hole in the sidewalk, but I walk around it. And ladies and gentlemen, chapter 5 is really where it begins to get the best option, which is I walk down another street and you actually attain significance. And really, that's what I want to bring across today is, are you walking down the same street day after day after day after day, and life is really becoming totally boring for you? Then we need to walk down another street and not just walk around the hole. Okay, let's move on. The way we plan, it's such an important aspect, this, and I'm going to touch on 2 aspects over here. You know, when I stood in front of my wife and I went down on one knee and I put a ring on her finger to say, will you marry me? And we got engaged. From that time to the date that we got married, the actual marriage day was literally 6 months. And we spent literally months of planning that wedding day. Okay. When I look back, and we've been married now in February, next month, on the 2nd, we'll be married 34 years, which is wonderful. That's great. But here's the point I want to make is simply this. How much time did we spend in planning our actual marriage? Because quite frankly, we went and sat down with the pastor and we spent about maybe 20 minutes with the pastor and he chatted to us. And that was it. And this is the issue, is that are we really planning the right things? It's great to plan your wedding, but what about planning the marriage as well? If we put planning into that, it's maybe a good thing. The same takes place with a holiday versus your life. We put so much planning into your holiday. What about your life? And so my question is simply this. Have you got a written, documented plan for your life? Not your business, your life. You don't get born and start a business, okay? You go through life first and you build character, you build habits. And we need to plan those things and make sure that's working correctly. And then we take it from there. So let's get excited about change, eh? Let's go on. Here are 3 aspects that I really believe every single person on this planet has this issue. The problem, the aspiration, and the solution. The problem is directionless existence. We get up every day and we go through the same things over and over again, and we really have directionless existence. And even though you are doing planning, oftentimes I speak to people and it's in certain specific areas of their life that they're still battling with. With Map for Life, we work with every area in your life, be it your marriage, be it your children, be it parenting, be it your sport, be it exercise, be it your business, no matter what. The aspiration of most people, when I speak to them and I ask them, what is it that you really want? I'm telling you now, 90% of the time, this is the words I get. I want to have financial freedom. And that's wonderful. That's awesome. However, what about abundant life? Wouldn't that be better than just financial freedom? You can have plenty of money, believe me. I know many people that have got millions and millions and millions of cash in the bank. They are so unhappy, it's just not funny. We want the aspiration of abundant life. And the solution to all of this is simply purposeful living. So again, why live your life by default when you can live it by design? Let's go on. We're now just going to touch on the whole methodology. Very simple and straightforward, but it works. David spoke about that word basics and old school. And this is pretty much what it is. But the basics work. So it's literally 5 steps. Establish your position, determine your destination, prepare your plan, your action plan according to those first 2, take meaningful action. Quite important. A lot of coaches will let you take massive action. I tend to disagree with that, because you can take massive action and get absolutely nowhere. You can jump up and down, throw your toys at the cot. You taking massive action, it means absolutely nothing. Rather put it as take massive, meaningful action, okay? And record the results. Such an important aspect as well as far as recording the results is concerned. And that's really your 5-step methodology. And we have tools throughout this process to actually use to get you to use this effectively on a daily basis and change those habits. All right, next one. The missing link, ladies and gentlemen, between your dream, and I'm not too sure if you can see that, the link, the white link on the left-hand side is the dream, the white link on the right-hand side is the reality. We all have dreams. Why not take the dream and the reality and link them together? And that link is simply a map for life. Map for Life can bring those 2 together for you very effectively. And that's what it's about. Great, next slide. I always love this slide. Start living, people. How's that little face? I just enjoy that. You can do it. Absolutely love that. All right, let's go to the next one. And we pretty much are done here. Okay, something very important, people. Don't let the words well done on your tombstone mean you were cremated, eh? Make that well done a real serious well done. You did great. You did excellent. Make that impact in people's lives. Okay. Such an important aspect. Great stuff. Next slide. Okay, I'm not going to worry about this slide. Now you can actually go on. It's probably going to start the video, but just go on, David, because it's about Lupita Nyong'o. I'll just mention it very quickly. I don't want to waste time with the full thing because we need to chat about this as well. Lupita Nyong'o is a lady that was born in America and then spent about a year there and then came back to Kenya where her family was. And stayed in Kenya, did her schooling there, and she had this absolute desire, this passion to become an actress. And everyone in Kenya said to her, "You're absolutely crazy, woman. Who becomes an actress in Kenya? You can't make money." Okay? There's that whole financial freedom issue again, that money thing. It's all about the money all the time. And money is important, but it's not the be-all and end-all. And her parents tell her, her friends tell her, her peers tell her, don't do acting. Rather go behind the camera and study that. At least you know you're going to make money. So she does that. Finishes her schooling, goes and studies 3 years behind the camera, starts her work. 2 weeks into her work situation, and she's watching these people in front of the camera acting, and she says she can't handle this. She has to be in front of the camera. That's her passion. That's her desire. She goes home to mom, and she says to mom, I can't do this any longer. Her mom gives her a blueprint map for life book, the one that David showed right in the beginning. She reads it, okay? And she writes down a goal for herself, and she writes an affirmation statement. I want to act in movies that will make an impact in people's lives, that when they step out of that movie, they will never be the same. And she writes a letter to Yale University and asks them, is there any possibility? This is what I've studied. I need a bursary. I want to come study through you. Can you help me out? She gets the bursary, goes and studies, and she starts with her first acting job in 12 Years a Slave. And she wins an Oscar. And this was actually that particular video. She actually won an Oscar. She's played in many of the Marvel movies. She's now probably the top paid black actress throughout the world. So don't tell me that there's no money in Kenya to act, okay? And this is the concept behind it. Don't allow your dreams to be stopped by things like, oh, you can't make money, or you can't do this, or you can't do that. No, you're going to get hurt doing that. You're going to get disappointed doing that. Follow after your dream. Your dream is valid. That's the important issue. Okay. Thank you very much. Next one. Okay, just a couple of options. I obviously do one-on-one coaching with this. I do life and business coaching generally with using Principle Map for Life. I do day courses, and I've sent the detail about that. It's just on Quicket. You can actually register for that. By the way, that course is usually about 2,500 Rand. I've dropped that price substantially because I've got a couple of people coming that are actually disabled. They don't earn a lot of money. I've got probably about 8 or 10 disabled people that want to do this course. So I've really dropped the price. It's only 1,200 Rand. I'm not really making money on this, but that's not the issue for me. It's about getting the message out to people, and I'm offering it to other people as well because I've got space. I've probably got space for about 20 people in that particular room. And we have to do it at a particular place because of the disability issue. So it's actually at a preparatory school in Midrand where they can get in, and they're used to going there, okay? So that's the situation around that if you have any questions. But please make contact with me. We do a mastery course about this if you actually want to take it further and study further in this area and possibly even do coaching yourself. And then we have this mentorship program where every Wednesday we get together like David mentioned. And it's only an hour. It's 7:30 to 8:30 in the morning. We get together, a couple of people, 5 or 6 people, and we go through this program. Really worthwhile. So, and that's me. All I can say further is I want you to seriously have an amazing year. Don't just live it by default, live it by design. Thank you very much, David. Appreciate it.
Thank you, Glenn. Yes, absolutely. One of the things that happened with me with the Map for Life is that in 2022, someone gave me a book, gave me this Map for Life book. And I already had a diary. I was using the John Maxwell diary, which is the leather-bound diary, and I had been using it for years. So, behind me here, you can see a whole collection of them. And I thought to myself, gee, this is a very cumbersome book. It's very thick. Now I'm going to put it in the shop. And I put it away. And then I met Glenn, and Glenn said to me, have you know about Map for Life? And I said, yeah, no, someone gave me a diary, but it's too thick, and, it doesn't really work for me. So he said, well, why don't you come and join Map Cafe and come and listen in and so on. So I did. Well, I received another John Maxwell diary for 2023. And I also got the one for this one, the Map for Life diary, and I started using it. Well, it changed my life totally. And I highly recommend anyone who would like to actually get their life together and actually put a game plan together that actually works, is to actually come and use this process. It's really, really excellent. And it's changed my life, definitely. So thank you, Glenn, for sharing that. I'd like to now go through and just to ask Mana and Wilhelm from their points of view, how do they actually plan their year? What do they do to make sure that they actually can make sure that this year is the best year ever? Perhaps I can start with Mana. Mana, over to you. Would like to unmute yourself?
Am I unmuted? Yes, can I start by saying, please don't buy David a John Maxwell diary for Christmas. Doesn't work. Yes, when David asked to talk about the game plan for the new year, I just said, I don't play games. I don't. So the game plan was something totally different. So for me, I think for business and personal, I think you need growth on both sides. You can't just grow in business and think your personal life is going to be part of it. You have to integrate both of them. So on personal growth, the foundation of success, your mindset, you need to work on your mindset. And I know I need some work on mindset and keeping to keep focused. I also decided that this year I'm going to spend more time on skills. There's quite a number of skills that I think I need some work on. My leadership, I think I'm quite okay with that, but they need some work. And then this year I need a strategy. I really, really need a strategy on how to personally grow. And then for myself, I think I need to prioritize my personal wellness. That's something that I've neglected over the past 8 years. And I really think physically and mentally, I need to start looking after myself, because if, again, the story on the plane, if you're on a plane, if you don't have oxygen, you can't help the person next to you. So I need oxygen this year in order to help others. And then also business growth. I think I need to spend more time on expanding my horizons. I need to align my vision with my dream, and thank you for that, Glenn. And then collaboration. I think that's also very important, to collaborate with people that has the same mindset as you, and you will grow faster and more sustainable when you're part of a stronger team. Innovation, keep asking what next. And I think I was very comfortable. I am very comfortable in my business at the moment, but I think I became too comfortable. And that's also something that I want to work on this year. And then the overlap, if you think about the overlap, personal growth drives better decision making, sharper your focus, and stronger relationships. And all of these things are essential for your business. So if there's a lack or a shortage in your personal relationship, it's definitely going to affect your business. So you need to find balance. It's always about balance. And I think this year I'm going to focus on finding a balance between the two, and be kind of attached to someone and think, that person is going to help you grow, but you yourself need to grow in yourself. And I think that's me for this year. I really am going to work harder by expanding my horizons, and I'm definitely going to join the Wednesdays. And then also, I think the day course is something that I'm interested in. So if you can maybe give us dates on that. And then I am really interested in doing the master course. So if you and I can have a coffee date, it would be really, really nice. Thanks.
Thank you, Mana. Fantastic. Great. Well, Helen, tell us a little bit about what your game plan is and how you actually implement that to make sure that this year is going to be the best year ever for you.
Thank you, David. Yes, one of the things that Marna mentioned was balance. And I always think balance is very, very important. Although balance is a never-ending story, you never really get in balance. I always say the only time when you really balance is when other people carry you in your coffin. They balance you then. But while you are busy, it's almost like being on a surfboard. The whole time you need to try to stay on top of the board, and there's always some forces that try to push you off the board. And the secret is to become aware of those forces, to recognize that, and then to counteract on those forces in a certain way. So when I plan my year and my life, I always think about this different energy tanks. My energy tanks are things like your spiritual tank. That's the meaning, the purpose of your life, your value system, your relationship with God or a higher being. Then the other one is your emotional energy tank. And that is, what state of emotion am I in most of the times? I find last year, most of the time, I was frustrated about whatever things. And that's an energy draining factor. So I must sort of, they talk about the fruit of the Spirit, and those are actually very practical things. It's like joy, compassion, kindness, and so on and so on, and being in self-control. So when I plan my year, I think about all these things and say, but how can I really get that in my life and have it part of my life? Then, of course, your mental state, thinking about what you think. Are you more positive or negative? What's the thoughts? Because thoughts are like seeds that you sow, and seeds always grow. Doesn't matter if it's good seed or bad seed, it will grow. So what are the seeds that you sow in your conversations with yourself and with other people? Thinking of my physical energy tank. How do I feed myself? The nutrition, about sleep, about exercise, about drinking water, all those things. So I need to plan these things into my life for the year. And thinking about my social energy tank, relationships. You know, we often communicate from out of a point of stress, and that's a negative emotions. So we actually start there. So I must plan my year in when I communicate that I'm okay, that I'm relaxed, that I'm in a good state of mind, that I don't communicate from out of a space of defensiveness or negative thoughts, whatever that might be, frustration or whatever, anger or so. So I need to work on that as well. And then, of course, my work, the work that I do, you know, that's the way we can add value to life. We have this life and we are happy to be in life, but what do I do to earn my space? You know, maybe I'm just taking up space and using the oxygen, but am I contributing? Am I a person of significance? Getting out of the place of survival mode, moving to success and then to significance. What Glenn actually mentioned, that word of significance, it's so much more powerful. So I must plan this year to be a person of significance, and then add that value, and then of course be compensated. Glenn mentioned the fact that we always think about money, but the thing is, you only think about money if you don't have it. But the thing is, if you add value, then you will get compensated for that. So put something in place, how you add the value and get the compensation for it. You know, and one of the things that I need to really work on this year, I'm also like Glenn, you know, sorry Glenn, but we tend to help people. We want to help people, and then we give them everything for free, in a sense, or at a very low price. And the thing is that people don't always appreciate that. So we need to, I must work this year to work with people that really want to move from point A to point B. They really want it. I can give them the plan, but I can also walk the road with them to be able to get there where they want to be. But it's no use working with people that they don't really want it. They want everything for free, but they don't appreciate it. You know, there's one time one guy said, if you ever give somebody something, even if it's rubbish from your house, whatever, let them pay for it, because otherwise they think you, what is it in Afrikaans, jy het dit aan hulle afgesmeer. How will I say it in English? You force it on them. It's you actually, but if they pay for something, then they appreciate it, and that they take the responsibility. So talking about responsibility, I need to take responsibility for my own life this year. Stop blaming circumstances, whatever that might be, and say, listen, it's my life. What am I going to do about it? And then take the necessary action. And then, yes, begin with the end in mind. And like Glenn mentioned, it's the end. It's the 31st of December. What happened in my life? And look back. But if I want that to happen, I must sow the seed and nurture it so that it will come up and and materialize. And the end of this year, I might look back and say, yes, I've achieved what I really the vision that I had, that I visualized, and I achieved that. And there's so much power in just meditating and visualizing on what you want and not focusing on what you don't want, because most people focus on the things that they don't want, and then they get that. And that's my story. Thank you very much. I hope that will help other people as well.
Thank you, Wilhelm. Absolutely. Wilhelm will be presenting to us his energy tanks, and I look forward to that. And it's actually a very important thing for balance, to make sure that you have balance in your life. And I know right now I don't have much balance. One of the things that I've neglected is my physical exercise. So I think we're going to be doing a bit of more physical. And actually, Glenn, we were talking about it yesterday at the Map Cafe, where we were talking about animal exercises or animal stretches. And I'm not sure exactly what it is, but it's something that we're going to do a little bit more investigation with in the Map Cafe. So that's going to be quite exciting to talk about. From my perspective, one of the things that I find, we all have different ways and means of motivating ourselves to actually achieve what we would like to have by the end of, or what we would like to achieve by the end of 2025. And Mona mentioned she doesn't like playing games. I love playing games. And one of the things that I found in my life was that if I could take back all the time that I actually played computer games and use that for self-development, I would be much further in my life than I am now. It's one of the things I keep on saying to my daughter, who also loves playing games. And I say to her, rather use the time that you are spending playing games to actually, do self-development. But one of the things that I've actually identified in my life is that games are actually important. And if you can convert a game theory into actually motivating yourself to actually achieve and do self-development, then it's a good thing, right? And what I'll be presenting next week is a game theory to you of how to actually do that. I've taken a whole lot of different mechanisms that are in the industry, and I've actually combined it to come up with a game theory. So we're going to be talking a little bit about that next week. It's going to be quite fun. So please join us next Thursday. But right now, what I'd like to do is ask Glenn just to give a wrap up of what Map for Life has done for him, and where he's actually going to be going with Map for Life into the future. Back to you, Glenn.
Thanks, David. Appreciate that, man. Really exciting to hear all of you speak. It's really great. I love the excitement, and it's just going to be a great year. I really believe that with all my heart. Okay, just one thing I wanted to mention quickly, and I think Mona actually spoke about this concept of doing further self-study and that type of thing. I think it's such an important aspect. Interesting enough, Jim Rohn speaks about the concept of formal education will get you a job. Self-education will make you wealthy and make you rich. And it's such an important aspect. There's so much time that we can spend actually studying things nowadays without even going to university, without even going to a college or anything that effect, and schooling as such. Not that I'm putting that down. I have my certain opinions about that, but the fact of the matter is we should be doing self-study on a daily basis. And that doesn't have to be hours and hours and hours. Literally just going into YouTube and listening to a positive message, you can pick up nuggets from that. I personally try and listen to certain things, and I pick up certain nuggets, and then I try and give that out. I spoke about that again yesterday at the Map Cafe. We can take information in. It's like filling a cup. Here's good old Milo that I've got over here. I'm having too much coffee of late, so I'm changing that to Milo now. Needless to say, I can fill. There we go. There we go. Willem, you're losing out here. I can fill this until it's overflowing. Okay. And it's the same with us. We can take information. We need to then give it out to people, because that's the best way to learn it as well. I've so often said to my children, if you want to study something, study it to the extent that you can teach someone. Then you'll remember it, and you'll remember it for the rest of your life. Okay. And that's the concept for me. If we can apply that principle within this year and go through this year with intentionality and with the concept of being significant in everything that we do, you can't lose. You cannot lose. You are going to come out at the end of the year being significant. I'm telling you now. Just absolutely. Let me leave that with you, and let's take it from there. And have a brilliant year. Just go for it. Do a Nike. Pull a Nike. Just do it.
Thank you. One of the things that just going back to what Glenn was talking about, learn to teach. Obviously, AI is a new thing. It's now been around, in the public domain for the last year, ChatGPT and a number of other programs that are out there. One of the things that I did was I actually set myself a goal to actually go along and learn it so I could teach it. And then I actually went and I put together some AI courses on teaching it. And in order to do that, I had to learn it, and I had to learn the ins and outs. But I had to go along and learn from other people, actually apply it and actually do it, practice it, find what was right, what worked for me, what didn't work for me. And then I did teach it. So this is something that I think is really important. So use that phrase this year, learn to teach, because if we do have information, why not actually give it to others? Really important. And because you get to understand it better yourself. So that's me, and I'd really like to thank you all for being here today and joining us. I'd like to just go around the room and just ask a quick takeaway from each of you of what your biggest takeaway is. What we'll also be doing is please follow Vision 2025. We've also got a goal regarding that. We want to really grow this program. It's really, for us, it's our giveaway to you for your self-development. We come with a lot of expertise here. As you can see, we're all grayed haired except for Mana. And we're here to share our knowledge with you, because that's where we benefit and you benefit from what we've learned. And you can apply it or not apply it, it's your choice. So let's go around. Let's start with Mana, and then we'll go to Wilhelm and end off with Glenn. Over to you, Mana.
By sharing knowledge, my hairdresser's name is Leanne. If you want the number, she does wonders. So yeah, again, at the end of the day, I learned today that it's actually fairly simple. Thanks for that, Glenn. To live by desire and to take responsibility. But I think what is also important is to make the right choices. As I taught my children and I've got a new teenager. So there are two choices in life always. There's a yes and there's a no. So if you say yes, everything comes with something attached to it. So if you make the right choice at the first time, you don't have to go back and fix your choice. So yes, live by desire, but also take responsibility for the choices you made. And then also, money isn't everything. I was actually asked a question the other day is, what is it that I need? What is it that I want? And there's a difference between what you need and what you want. And you have to decide, even when you make choices, do I need this or do I want this? And there's a huge difference between the two. So, and then to David on telling his daughter about the games to spend more time doing other things. I think when we teach our children something, we need to practice what we preach. And I think that is very important, and something that I learned when my son was growing up. I worked very hard. I worked all hours of the day, and there was no balance in my life. And at the time, I had no choice. I thought, but we do. And all the choices we make has consequences, and we would have to live with the consequences of the choices we make. So that's my takeaway.
Thank you so much, Mana. Thank you for that. Wilhelm, over to you.
Yes, thank you, David. One can say so much, but it's so important to know what we want then we need to go for it. And as you mentioned, Glenn, we can plan, we can design, we can map our life, and I think it's so important when you design your life, and that's what you also stand for, Glenn, is that you need to think of all your energy tanks, take that in consideration, because the moment when you miss some of those, David, you've mentioned a physical tank, for instance, that you don't fill that one, then it catch up with you, or other things, relationships or whatever. So the whole thing is to keep that balance, to attend to all those things. And it's not a equal time thing. You must remember 8 hours we work, that's already and 8 hours we sleep, and the other 8 hours we need to do all the other things. But the fact is, if you do every day a little bit and fill your tanks, all the different dimensions, it can only go well with you this year. So that's my takeaway. Plan it. I always say, take the word reactive, change the way you see it, take the C, put it in front of the word reactive, and it says create your own future. We have the ability to create our own future. Of course, there's things that happen here and there, whatever. But most of the time, if we only react to life, we just get whatever comes to us and we don't design our life. So that's what I would like to work on this year, really design my life and enjoy life. Life is there to be enjoyed and to be the best that you can be. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Wilhelm. Great. Thank you. Glenn, over to you.
Thanks, David. And sure. Amazing information coming out. Just such incredible nuggets. It's really great. Loving this. Just to finish off, maybe I can speak about vision, because it's Vision 2025. And such an interesting thing. If let's say it's raining outside, which is happening quite often of late, and it's really pouring down with rain. You climb in your car and you drive out of the garage, and the rain's coming down your windscreen. You hit the wipers and it doesn't do anything. You have a bit of a problem, because you're not going to be able to see properly. Okay. Most often we go into a new year and we don't necessarily see properly into that year. And once again, we step into that default situation. Make sure that you have vision for the future. Write down that vision. Okay. I talk about the biggest nation in the world, and I'm not talking about Russia, China, whatever, USA. I'm talking about imagination. Every person on the planet has imagination. All right. Use that God-given imagination that you've got. Put pen to paper, write down dreams and ideas and visions, and step into that, and go into this year with a clear, precise vision of what you want. Okay. That's my take. Bless you all. Have a good one.
Thank you very much, everybody. And thanks for being here, Glenn, Mona, and Wilhelm. Really nice to have you here. And thanks to all the listeners. Without you, this program we'll just be talking into the air. So please take away some of these nuggets, apply them in your life, and join us next Thursday. We're going to do this every Thursday as we did last year. We're going to continue growing this. The whole aim is to grow this. What we also do is we take, after this, I take what we've spoken about and I put it into a newsletter. So those of you who would like to refer back to what was said, some of the nuggets, go along and look at the newsletter. It's called Future Forward. And it's all about actually planning your future and making sure that you make sure that vision this year, 2025, will be the best year ever. So thank you again for all of you. Take care, and we'll see you next week. Take care. All right. Cheerio, guys. Thanks for joining us.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.
Picture this. It's the dawn of 2025 and you're poised for success. Why? Because you've established your why. This isn't just a whim or a hobby. It's the passion that propels you forward, the core of your ambition. Next, you assess your current position. Where do you stand? What are your strengths, your weaknesses? Honesty is key here. Now envisage your destination. What do you want to achieve by the end of this year? Set those goals. Make them smart, specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, time-bound. With your destination locked, it's time to map out your plan. Break down your goals into manageable steps, then start stepping. Remember, Action without reflection is aimless. Record your results, analyze your performance, and adjust your plan accordingly. The path to success in 2025 isn't a sprint, it's a marathon. Take meaningful action, keep your eye on the prize, and continually strive for improvement. Here's to a successful 2025.